Greetings, fellow time travelers. Welcome back to Secrets of the Ancients, where we uncover the hidden mysteries of lost civilizations and dive deep into the secrets that shaped our world. I'm your archaeological guide, ready to take you on another mind-bending journey through the corridors of time. Today's discovery will challenge everything you thought you knew about Viking warriors. For over 140 years, archaeologists believed they had found the ultimate Viking warrior, buried with the most complete arsenal ever discovered in Scandinavia. But what recent DNA analysis revealed will blow your mind and rewrite the history books forever. Before we unveil this incredible secret, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss the ancient mysteries we're about to reveal. Picture this scene with me. It's 1878, and the Swedish archaeologist Hjalmar Stolpe is leading excavations on a small island called Birka, 30 kilometers from modern Stockholm. His team has been digging for 7 years, but that morning, something extraordinary catches their attention. 2 horses lie buried next to a massive granite boulder. Stolpe knows immediately, this is no ordinary grave. In Viking burial traditions, horses meant only one thing: a warrior of exceptional rank lies beneath this stone. What they discovered that day became legendary in archaeological circles. The grave, numbered BJ 581, contained the most complete Viking warrior arsenal ever found. We're talking about a war axe, combat knife, 2 spears of different types, 2 shields, 25 arrowheads, and of course, the crown jewel, a magnificent sword. This wasn't just any collection of weapons. This was the burial of what appeared to be one of the greatest Viking warriors in history. For more than a century, this discovery shaped our entire understanding of Viking warfare and became the poster child for fierce Nordic warriors. But here's where our story takes an incredible turn. Fast forward to the 1970s. A young osteoarchaeologist named Berit Valans is conducting a comprehensive inventory of Viking remains in Stockholm's museums. She's examining skeleton after skeleton, carefully documenting her findings. When she reaches the bones from grave BJ 581, the legendary warrior, something stops her cold. The pelvic bone fragments don't match what she expects to see. The orbital margins of the skull drawings show delicate features. The forearm bones are slender and graceful. Berit makes a shocking notation in her report. This skeleton belongs to a woman, not a man. Can you imagine? The most famous Viking warrior, the benchmark for Nordic ferocity, might actually be female. But the scientific community wasn't ready for such a revolutionary idea. The report was filed away, and the warrior remained a man in everyone's minds. But science has a way of revealing truth, no matter how long it takes. Jump ahead to 2017. Stockholm University geneticists decide to settle the debate once and for all using cutting-edge DNA analysis. Dr. Charlotte Haydenstierna Johnson and her team extract genetic material from the ancient bones. Here's what made this investigation incredibly challenging. After over 1,000 years underground, only about 5% of the DNA in the grave actually belonged to the original occupant. The rest came from bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms that had colonized the remains over the centuries. But modern science is persistent. The geneticists searched for the Y chromosome, the genetic marker that definitively identifies males. They analyzed sample after sample, looking for any trace of male DNA. The result? Absolutely no Y chromosome present. Instead, they found 2 X chromosomes, the unmistakable genetic signature of a female. The evidence was irrefutable. The greatest Viking warrior ever discovered was actually a woman. Now let's travel back in time to understand what this discovery truly means. Picture Birka during the 9th and 10th centuries. Not just any Viking settlement, but one of the most powerful trading hubs in the entire Norse world. This island was home to over 1,000 people, with merchants from across Europe and Asia converging here to trade everything from Arabic silver coins to Scandinavian amber. But wealth attracted danger, and Birka needed protection. The town maintained a garrison of 40 to 60 professional warriors. These weren't just fighters, they were elite soldiers trained in archery, sword combat, and military strategy. Archaeological evidence shows they actively defended the settlement, with hundreds of arrowheads found embedded in the defensive ramparts. Our female warrior wasn't just part of this elite force. The evidence suggests she commanded it. Her burial location, just 100 meters from the shore and marked by a massive stone visible from the sea, proclaimed her importance to every ship entering Birka's harbor. But how do we know she was truly a military commander and not just someone buried with ceremonial weapons? Here's where the evidence becomes absolutely fascinating. Alongside her weapons, archaeologists found something extraordinary: a complete set of gaming pieces and a wooden game board. This wasn't just any board game, this was Hnefatafl, the Viking equivalent of chess. It's a complex strategy game where players must protect their king while outmaneuvering enemy forces. Think of it as military training disguised as entertainment. Complete gaming sets like this are incredibly rare in Viking burials. When archaeologists do find them, they're invariably in the graves of high-ranking military commanders, the strategic minds who planned battles and led troops into combat. The gaming pieces were found on her lap, while the board lay by her side. This wasn't accidental placement, it was a deliberate statement about her role as a military strategist and tactical leader. Combined with her position overlooking Birka's harbor and her complete arsenal of weapons, the evidence points to one incredible conclusion. We're looking at the burial of the only confirmed female Viking warlord and military strategist known to history. This discovery forces us to completely reconsider our understanding of Viking society. We've been conditioned by centuries of stories about bearded, brutal male warriors sailing across the seas in search of plunder. But the reality was far more complex and honestly more interesting than the myths. Viking women enjoyed freedoms unknown in most of medieval Europe. They could inherit property, initiate divorce, choose their husbands, and clearly, as our Birka warrior proves, rise to positions of military command. Archaeological evidence from across Scandinavia reveals women buried with keys, symbols of household authority and economic control. We find female merchants, landowners, and even ship captains mentioned in historical records. The Byzantine Empire recorded encountering Scandinavian women in armor fighting alongside men in battle. Irish chronicles mention the Red Girl, a female Viking who commanded an entire fleet of ships. Our Birka warrior wasn't an anomaly. She was part of a warrior tradition that history had largely forgotten until DNA analysis brought her story back to light. Let's examine the weapons that made this burial legendary. This wasn't a collection of ceremonial items. Every piece was a professional warrior's tool, designed for real combat. The sword alone tells an incredible story. Viking swords required a full month of specialized craftsmanship to create, involving multiple expert smiths. Only the wealthy elite could afford such weapons, and owning one marked you as belonging to society's upper ranks. But here's what's truly remarkable. Modern weapons experts have analyzed these tools and concluded that none required exceptional physical strength to use effectively. The sword was perfectly balanced for speed and precision, designed to be wielded with a shield as a unified fighting system. The two spears weren't throwing weapons, they were close combat tools for battlefield engagement. The 25 three-sided arrowheads could pierce armor, while the war axe could end a fight with a single devastating blow. This was the equipment of a professional warrior who had dedicated her life to mastering the art of war. Every piece tells us she knew combat intimately and commanded the respect that such expertise demanded. We'll probably never know exactly how our warrior died, but we do know that Birka itself vanished suddenly in the middle of the 11th century. Historical records suggest the town may have fallen victim to one of the very raids its warriors were meant to prevent. By 1066, the Viking Age was ending. The defeat at Stamford Bridge marked the end of an era, and the descendants of the Vikings began converting to Christianity and assimilating into the lands they had once raided. But our female warrior had achieved something that transcends her own time. She had been remembered. The massive stone marking her grave ensured that every ship entering Birka's harbor would see her monument, a testament to her importance to the community she had served and protected. So what do you think about this incredible discovery, fellow time travelers? For over a century, we assumed Viking warfare was purely a male domain, but DNA analysis has revealed a warrior queen who commanded troops, mastered strategy, and earned burial honors reserved for the greatest military leaders. This discovery raises fascinating questions. How many other male warriors in museums around the world might actually be women? What other assumptions about ancient civilizations need to be challenged by modern science? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think there were more female Viking warriors than history recorded? What other archaeological mysteries would you like us to investigate using modern scientific techniques? Don't forget to subscribe to Secrets of the Ancients for more mind-blowing discoveries that challenge everything we thought we knew about the past. Hit that notification bell, because next week we're traveling to ancient Egypt to investigate a pharaoh whose identity has baffled Egyptologists